Welcome back. When we think about the things that will help our family life run a little bit more smoothly, so many things come to mind, and knowing where to start is usually the frustrating part. Joining us today through our Healthy Families Partnership is marriage and family consultant Alvian Lyons, and each month we talk about how we can improve the roles of the 3 Ps in our lives as professionals, partners, and parents, and this month we're focusing on roles as partners and parents. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, thanks.
So today we're focusing on, I guess, what the family structure, parenting, things like that. Talk about it.
Okay, so you said it earlier that we're going to focus on the word home, okay? And we always find simple ways to be able to do it. So home being H-O-M-E. When we talk about structure in our families, there are certain things that help to make that happen more effectively. The first thing is H, have the conversation. What we want for our families has everything to do with what our families and how our families should be navigating. What we're doing, how we're doing it, who's doing it, those power questions. Who's going to be responsible for what? What is it that we want to accomplish? What are our visions and our goals? What are our values even as a family? And sometimes we underestimate how important it is to have a plan. When you don't have a plan, you have a default plan, and that's planning to fail. So we want to make sure as a family there is a family plan, but it needs to start by having the conversation, and you want to start it with the parents first or whoever's heading the household, and then with the whole family, because we need to be on the same page as partners before we open up this conversation to the entire family and we discover that we don't even see things the same way. So start with that.
Have a conversation.
Have the conversation is the H. O, open it up to everyone. Buy-in is important. A family is a team. If we're not all running down the field in the same direction, we have a problem. So we want to make sure that everybody who's a part of the process gets a chance to have their voice heard. You'd be surprised how creative the youngest people in the family are. They come up with fantastic ideas for how we should go about this and who should be doing this, who should feed the dog, you know, like whatever it's going to take. But making sure that everybody, if you have grandparents living at home, everybody who's a part of the system needs to be a part of the conversation. So do not isolate anyone in it, because you're going to need the whole family to be a part of it.
Okay.
M, make a list. There's a real difference between what it is that we think in our heads versus what it is that we say out loud versus what it is that we see written down. There's a level of accountability that comes from being able to look at what we agreed to. What are we trying to do? When we assign tasks and responsibilities, who did we assign to those things? The accountability factor makes it a lot easier when you need to figure out how we might need to adjust things when we figure out it may not be working as smoothly as we thought it would. And it's okay that it's not perfect. We're not going to get it right first out the gate, but we definitely want to make sure that we have a system in place that we can see so we can figure out where we may need to make adjustments. So make a list of what we agreed to.
Gotcha. And then E.
Evaluate it. Is it working? I mean, it sounded great when we all sat down, but is it really working? Are things really getting done the way that we want them to get done? Did we think about everybody's feelings in the process? Who really could handle what? Where we really want to go as a family? Did we really consider all of those things? And when we tried to apply them, did they really work for us? It's okay to tweak. And we should tweak on a regular basis based on what it is that we figure out. So you've got to evaluate it.
And so do you suggest this is will be brought up like family meetings and things like that? I mean, it's once a week or something? You know?
Well, it depends on the family, because depending upon how busy and crazy your schedules are, you may not be able to do it once a week. So you might want to do a monthly meeting, and then you might want to do a quarterly thing where we're really looking at how well did this work for a longer period of time. So you really have to do what works for your family. There's no magic answer to that, but the important things is that you're applying the principles in the process. Those kinds of things, and making sure that you're doing that communication and connecting with each other when creating the vision for the family are super important.
And if for a family who's like, where do we begin? This is the perfect place to start.
Always start with conversation. Nothing gets done if we haven't talked about it. You could be brilliant, I could be brilliant, but if we haven't talked together about our brilliance, nothing's happening. So we need to have a conversation. And it really is helpful to be able to have, if you don't know how to go about that, get involved with some programs that can. Healthy Families.
I was going to say, there it is.
Excellent for it. They have fantastic ways that you could connect with your teen. They have 1, 2, 3 magic. So if your kids are little, figuring out how to develop structure. There are multiple ways to get involved with learning how to be better at this process. And you don't have to do it all alone, and you don't have to be an expert at it.
Well, for more information, you can contact Healthy Families Partnership on their website, hampton.gov/healthyfamilies, or just give them a call, 727-1300. Remember, home. Alvian, thanks so much.
Thanks, Arian.